the number 2. So,
yes,
I mean, definitely have their hands full here, Orion, but it's definitely something that they're up to the challenge for.
Also, there is a big gap between number 1 and number 2, but already we have a goal quick out the gates. It is going to be Orion. You said they had their work cut out for them, but immediately you can feel that impact. There's a big ball forward. Kurdish able to take that from post to post, and then the final back pass was just the cherry on top. You saw a really tight angle bicycle kick in your last game. That's always going to be something that the goalkeepers have to be prepared for. So even in those positions where the pass seems obvious, in a game of rematch, when you have top players, is always a striking opportunity.
Yeah, especially in rematch, you have to really bring out creativity here in a game that can feel that oftentimes very repetitive, or certain meta can take fold. It becomes predictable. So when you have that little level of creativity, it really keeps your opponent on edge. As now we'll see SPK just, trying to play a little game of possession here. Still plenty of time. That goal came in very early here. If it's a full 10 minutes that we have to play, Kurdish plays this one back towards the keeper, and we'll see Orion have an opportunity here to flip the pitch.
Leitao and Ghastly is a great defensive duo to see together. Almost let that one slip. Snowty loves playing really high in these positions. Will catch the ball on this occasion. Just has Ghastly to beat. He'll have his teammates right behind him, but they are quite deep sets. And Leitao watches that ball go over the line, but laws of rematch, as long as the ball's in your gloves, that's no issue whatsoever. Ghastly to take control. Leitao, again, with plenty in front of him. All players, though, specifically man-marked. Creed will use that E to get some space. He's got Kurdish close and Vixie at that far post, but Kami-Sami-Sama is just such a brick wall in defense. It's the player that, heading into this, I knew would be a really big threat for any teams that had to play against him. So far, he's definitely living up to that mark.
100%. I mean, Creed went 3 times, and all 3 times blocked there on defense. And it's a change of possession quickly, and already downfield here as well. Kami-Sami-Sama tries to find this over to Snowty. Leato's able to get that save, but look at Snowty just instantly challenging the keeper, not giving them any respect, really limiting the space that Orion's able to create here. And that's one thing we saw in that draw earlier here, Sir Pegasus, was the amount of space that Orion needed to get things going. And it feels like SPK are just suffocating at times.
And Snowty did that in the previous matchup. We were able to witness him play, and just positions himself so far forward, and at times that can leave a little bit of a gap deeper set. Of course, if you're committing one player, somewhere space will open up. But to make up for that, usually they have him in a somewhat 1v2 position in that offense, so they can make up for those numbers a little bit further down the pitch. Kami-Sami-Sama, sometimes it feels like he's worth 2 players. Is beaten here, though, by Creed, and there's a bit of an opening for Vixie. Takes that first drop-down touch, looks to pass this into that bottom corner. And Kurdish was an option on that wider side. Looked like that was going to be an opportunity intercepted should he have gone for it. That shot was essentially forced, but Arctic, cold as ice in net, still able to close those gaps. Big balls across. Snowty will hit the post. And it was a last-ditch effort for offensive player Kurdish to get in the way. That could have very likely been an equalizer. Instead, hunting for 2. Orion will take flight. But again, that familiar one-on-one position versus Kami-Sami-Sama requires so much more work. Vixie goes for that top corner. But Arctic, so good at covering that left-hand side.
Really making Arctic work for it, though, having to use a majority of the box to get those diving saves. Instead, finds this one downfield towards Snowty. Across here, Kami-Sami-Sama not able to get the touch he was looking for. It's Creed here, who has been a 1v1 against these two a majority of the game, marking each other both on opposite sides of the pitch. Kurdish, he'll collect here, takes us all the way downfield, tries to get this over here to Vixie. Instead, has to play this back towards Creed. Creed looking for an opening here. Plays this far corner. Kurdish across, but great defense here from SPK.
What great finesse there as well from Somi, getting that one to Kami Sama with a little bit of extra effort required. And I'm not just talking to mechanic, that's a giveaway vote. And this should be all Orion in the offense. Ghastly will take his time, brings that one back to the keeper and lays out. Portuguese player doesn't waste any moments to find that space on Ghastly. Snowty wasn't able to react in time to try and block that pass. Kurdish looks for the front post option. Perhaps not realizing that was Arctic marking his man. Should not have been a defender. We didn't have to risk that catch from the goalkeeper and a complete loss in offense. But now here's the position they sit. All players crowding just on the edge of that box. Arctic weaving, waiting for that moment. Snowtees had to drop deep to get that first touch. And unfortunately, it's going to be a touch wasted. Minutes grinded down. We're already past that halfway point. And despite all the action we've seen so far, Borky, it's only one goal to show for it.
Yeah, and it just feels like since that opening, Orion really caught SPK off guard, and it's been very lights out since then. Orion, yes, they've had a couple looks on offense, but it is old, reliable Arctic that they keep going back to. That just as soon as that ball touches the gloves of the keeper, your offensive opportunity's killed. Here comes Vixie, though, trying to get a 1v1 here, but just forced out. Creed comes all the way forward. We'll be able to extend the offense for a little bit, but eventually the pocket is picked. Arctic gets the ball, and we'll see what can SPK try to develop here. We've seen that they have to come a little bit farther forward on offense. Great footing there, gets us over to Sammy, but Snowtee's shot instantly deflected.
And this is going to be a vital point in the game now. You look at your top corner of your screen, you see how low that time is really starting to get. Over half a game gone. Well over half a game gone. Low Riders really haven't had an opportunity to write home about. You've seen a few opportunities for Orion to extend the score sheets, but in terms of closing that gap, we're still waiting for that moment. This is a chance for Kurdish. Just make that run outside! And what did I say, Borky? A chance to extend, never to close. It's Orion's Vixie to try and storm the top of this table.
My goodness, what a pass there as well across middle. Vixie just insta-firing that shot on net. And Arctic, he's been close to perfect in this game, but that one extra hard to save there. And Orion, again, keep in mind, SPK is the number 2 seed heading into this, and well, that play right there is exactly why they have earned that regard.
It's just that never quit attitude of the team. They'll keep that ball flowing. They'll wait for that one chance, and once this team starts to get that bit of momentum, you better be prepared. Snowty, as usual, pressing himself up forward, trying to plant this pressure early, because now it's a point where Orion can start to waste a bit of time. Snowtifo gets the catch, the dribble is show, looks to loop it over, but Leitao is back in the nick of time. Quick pass to Ghastly. A third goal would surely be decisive for Orion. But SPK, they've got that bit of bite in these final minutes. Somis will catch, goes for that ball down the line, and now Kami Sama, we've spoken about his defensive capabilities. Now he's going to create something from that midfield to Snowty. And that noise of the woodwork could be the death toll for SPK.
Oh, just barely missing it there by the smallest of margins. Snowty, wide open lane to try to get them equalized here, but instead it's going to be Curtis disrupting, places all the way back here towards the keeper. That's more precious seconds just ticked off this clock here. Ghastly gets some possession. Snowty, though, has been really willing. SPK back in here. Here comes Kami Sama. 1v1. Places towards the backboard. Tries to get this across, but Curtis just a step ahead.
But they've still maintained possession, and that's the part that's important now. Ball across, Kami Sama. That looked like a pass attempt to Snowty, but it's picked up by Creed. This is someone who doesn't lose the ball very often, keeps his composure in this instance. Ghastly is able to catch. And now that ball forward to Kurdish. Looks to find Vixie. It's too heavy in this occasion, but a ball in the corner. Will be perfectly fine for them as long as you do not lose possession. Snowty in a one-on-one. Leitao has that ball straight towards him. And that might seem ridiculous. Why would Snowty shoot straight to net? Because there's always a chance that that goalkeeper in the thriller position will dive too early. He cannot in this occasion either. This time, though, Creed can make sure that a goalkeeper effort isn't required in the first place. An electric ending. Still potential for SPK. Sermes has taken it right back. This hasn't been the professional closing out ending that Orion need to pull off. Instead, it's another defense. It's another nail-biting attack. Sermes to Vendrick. This is surely their final chance.
Sami here. Snowty is lurking in the top of the box. Final 10 seconds to get away. Comes across and the shot is on. What an even brilliant save from Loti. Keeps things out. Ghastly. Can he kill this in the corner? Snowty does get touch on it, but the last second, Orion will be able to squeak things away and come away with the upset, Sir Pegasus.
Yes, they do. And that's